Hi, good evening. How are you? All right. So, welcome to my international training and teaching program, which we are running under the umbrella of ASCO languages. So, today again, I will give you a lot of tips in terms of like how you can clear your IELTS exam. Because obviously, there are a lot of people, I think, if you talk about in the world, there is almost 20% population want to clear the IATA certification because this is the a major certification of aviation industry. If you want to be as a reservation officer, if you want to work with a travel agency, if you want to work with an airline's reservation staff, or either if you want to open your own travel agency, so you have to have the certification of ITA. Okay, so in ITA certification, maybe it is just about your knowledge and your skills. Okay, and if you want to clear your ITA exam, like if you want to be a diploma holder of ITA, because that certification will directly come from Canada, Montreal. So basically, the ITA certification is affiliated from Montreal, Canada. Okay, so you will be having a international certification. So sitting over here in India, you can have the Canada certification. You can have the Canada diploma, which is an ITA. But yes, obviously, in order to clear the exam of ITA, you have to have some module where you need to practice on this, because ITA asks about what? ITA asks about the the routing of the airlines, like how you can make the combinations, what are those, what are MPMs, how you can make the fares, how you can calculate the fares. So let me tell you, when I was working with United Airlines, because I served my a lot of years with United Airlines. So when I was working with them, okay, when I was working with an Air France, because I also work with Air France because I am having my French language in place. So I got a job over there in Air France. So basically, I worked as in 15. I served my 15 years in this travel industry. I also work with the UK campaigning. I also work with US campaigning. I work with a lot of travel agencies also. Even I work with Spanish campaignings. I was handling my Spanish clients. I was handling my friend because I have a good expertise in European languages. So I handle German clients in my history. I handle French clients. I speak. I handle a lot of. I spoke with a lot of Spanish clients. Even I also dealt with in the past the Chinese clients also. So why I'm giving you these type of deliveries, because I handle the entire round the world operations. It is not I only work with Indian people. I worked with the foreigners as well. It means I worked with the different culture. I mingle myself within MNC's environment, wherein I learned a lot of the culture and their a lot of things. So why see how I got a chance to work with to mingle myself with these MNCs like multinational culture environment, because I had my ITA certification which I have cleared. I had cleared my that ITA diploma which I have. Okay, so being an ITA certified trainer, I want to explain to you, like if you really want to do something in your life, if you really want to do, you need to have your ITA certification. So obviously, my first step to clear my ITA exam, which is my global indicator, global indicator, because you know what, ITA asks about a lot of things. For example, if your flight is flying from, for example, if I take an example, because in ITA we have the areas. So what ITA did is, I to understand for the to it is very important. You have to have a great understanding about your global indicators. Okay. So what ITA did is, because ITA we are doing in ITA's diploma, it could be if you will do GDS course of ITA, because there's a lot of courses in ITA. We have DTTF also, which is a Diploma of Travel and Tourism Foundation. We have what I would say a management course in ITA also, management course. We have consultant course also in ITA. So there is a lot of the courses which you can enroll yourself. But in order to clear those ITA certification, what ITA require, what ITA is what ITA's main requirement. So ITA's main requirement is first unit of IATA. If you really want to clear IATA exam, your first unit would be global indicators, which I can define as in GI. We have MPM, which is maximum permitted mileage. We have one second. So in order to clear my IATA exam, I have to have first global indicator, then I have MPM, which is my maximum permitted mileage. The second is my TPM, which is my ticketed point mileage. What is ticketed point mileage? It is very important to understand. TPM, ticketing point mileage. It is very important to understand what would be my GI, what would be my MPM, what would my TPM, what is my EMS. You know what is EMS? EMS is your excess mileage surcharge. See, it is all about you are doing the training for airfare and calculation. You are doing the training for you are enroll. See, if you want, and maybe you can, if you enroll yourself in air ticketing and fare see it, this is a training for about air ticketing and fare calculation. Iata explained to you a lot of things like how you can go for a airfare and calculation, how you can go for airfare and calculation. So there is a lot of formulas which I am going to explain to you. We have first is fare construction unit, fare construction unit. So these are my IATA's units. For example, you enroll yourself for any course, like you have, if you enroll yourself in +2, if you enroll yourself in +1 class, +2 class, what you have, you can, if you choose physics, chemistry, math, then in physics, chemistry, math you have your units, right? Like we have Newton, first law, second law, if these all type of things, like we have in these things. The same in IATA also, we have a lot of things. We have a lot of things, like we have global indicator, we have EMS, we have MPMs, we have TPM, we have NUX, which we call as neutral unit of conversion, we have Q surcharge, we have IROE, which we call as IATA rate of exchange, we have round the world, we have circle trip, round trip, open jaw, we have turnaround open jaw, we have double open jaw. So there are a lot of things which IATA contains, the IATA subject, the IATA syllabus contains. So in order to clear those syllabus of IATA, you have to have a good manual expertise, because you know what, IATA is not about the commands. Obviously, you have, maybe if you will enroll yourself in IATA exam, maybe you have to choose your one software. It can be Galileo, Sabre, Amadeus, Watchman, could be. So it is your wish, like which software you want to enroll. So if you choose Amadeus, you should have the command of Amadeus. But it is not about the commands of Galileo and Amadeus. It is all about like how you can clear the IATA exam and how you can make the fare calculation. For example, if you go on the website fare display Delhi to New York 70,000, but what are the formula, what is the formula behind the fare? If the fare is showing 70,000, what formula the software has applied, like why it is 70,000, why it is not 69,000? So what software did is, software calculate the mileage of the flight. So in IATA, if you really want to clear your IATA exam, IATA requirement is you have to have a great understanding about airfare and calculation, about fare construction. Okay, so today I will explain to you my first module is for global indicator. My first module is like, what is global indicator? So let me explain to you what IATA did is, IATA divides the whole world into three areas. IATA divides the whole world into three areas. So we have TC1, we have TC2, and we have TC3. It is very important to understand, if you have your own travel agency and if you're depending upon a different travel agency to asking for the fares, please stop these type of activities. because once you have, you know, the knowledge of the, see, this is entire world. For example, this is entire world. So to make a routing, because if you know the routing, if you know the global indicators, and if you know the system, because I will explain to you entire things in IATA, so you will come to know entire concept. So IATA did, what IATA did is, IATA divide the whole world into three areas. TC1, we have US and Canada. We have US and Canada, and TC2 we have Europe, UK, and Africa, and the rest we have Japan, China, we have South Korea, we have Southeast Asia countries, we have UAE countries, we have India, Sri Lanka, we have Australia, New Zealand, that lies in area 3. So for example, because IATA, you will get sometimes in IATA also you will get an objective questions. For example, uh, if what you, how, you know, what type of question you will get in the examination. So in your examination, for example, you will get these things. Routing is for Sydney. Okay, routing is for JFK to Madrid. Okay, my second routing is for London to Sao Paulo. Okay, the second routing is for Frankfurt to Brasilia. My third routing is for example, we have Budapest to, I can say, Budapest to Detroit. Okay. See, these type of questions you will get in IATA. So if I ask to you, this can be an objective question, what would be the global indicator? So to make a combination also, if you really want to be a complete travel agent, so you have to have these training in place. Okay, so JFK to Madrid, my JFK lies in US, so that lies in area 1. My Madrid is in Europe, that lies in area 2, that is Spain. Okay, so if my flight is flying from area 1 to 2, my global indicator would be Atlantic, 80, because bit from, see, from that we start, if we have a journey start from area 1 to area 2, between area 1 to area 2 we have a ocean, the biggest ocean, which we called as Atlantic Ocean. So in this, between area 1 and area 2, we have a Atlantic Ocean. So for this reason, just understand one thing, if my journey is flying from TC1, which we call as Traffic Conference Area 1, Traffic Conference Area 2, and Traffic Conference Area 3. So if my journey is flying from area 1 to T2, we have a global indicator Atlantic. If my journey is flying from again London to Sao Paulo, London is in my area 2 because that's in UK. UK we have area 2. Sao Paulo is in South America, which is in area 1. So if my journey is flying from area 2 to 1, again my global indicator would be 80. So if my journey is flying from Frankfurt to Brasilia, Frankfurt is in area 2 because that's in Germany. We have a Europe in area 2. Brasilia is in area 1 because that lies in South America. So if my journey is flying from area 2 to 1, it means it is crossing Atlantic Ocean. Why? Because between TC1 to TC2 we have a Atlantic Ocean. We have Atlantic Ocean. For this reason we have a global indicator 80. See, these type of things you will get in IATA exam. So my first module, so if you are enrolling yourself in IATA exam, you must understand about global indicators, because your entire fare calculation, if you are if you will handle round the world fares, you should have a complete knowledge of your global indicator. Otherwise you cannot calculate it around the world. How you will calculate around it is around the world? For around the world there is some, you know, the rules and regulations to make the fares. Like journey has to be calculated within the round the world, journey has to cover up the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. So I already explained to you the round the world fares in my previous lesson. Okay, so I will explain to you going forward also. But yes, if you're aspiring to clear your IATA certification, which will come from Canada, Montreal, so you can have these you should have these type of, you know, knowledge of global indicators. So if your journey is flying from area 2, Budapest, Hungary, Europe, Okay, to Detroit, US, area 1, we have a global indicator 80, which is Atlantic. So if a journey is flying from area 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, we have a global indicator 80. Why? Because between area 1 to area 2, we have a ocean which is we call as Atlantic Ocean. So if you are enrolling your IATA exam, maybe in, I think it will be happening the month of September. Now I will see the dates now. So your first thing you have to understand about global indicators. Okay, so for example, may I rub this? Okay, so for example, if your journey is performing if your journey is performing from Japan, which we called as Haneda, for example, Haneda, we have an airport in Japan, Haneda to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to London, and then London to Detroit, and back Detroit to LA, and LA to what I would say to Kathmandu, KTM. Okay, so you tell me Haneda lies in area 3 because we have a Japan that lies in area 3. Frankfurt lies in area 2 because this is in Germany, we have a Europe. London lies in area again 2 because that lies in UK. Detroit is in US area 1. LAX, Los Angeles, we have area 1, and Kathmandu we have area 3. Now, if my journey is performing between area 3 and 2, we have the global indicator is Eastern Hemisphere. If my journey is performing from between area 3 and 2, performing from area 3 to 2 or between area 3 to 2, my global indicator would be Eastern Hemisphere. Then 2 to 2, okay, there would be a same, what I would say, the same thing, okay, same area. Then area 2 to 1, if my journey is performing between area 2 to 1, we have a global indicator 80, Atlantic. Is that clear to you? If my journey is performing from DT to LAX, that is again my same, what I would say, the area. Then LAX to KTM. So LAX, we have a LA over here because LAX lies in Pacific time zone. Okay, so here if I will take the flight via Pacific, so that can be a Pacific Ocean indicator. So these type of things you have to understand in order to clear a IATA exam. Okay, so let's take an example. One more thing, in IATA exam you have to have a complete understanding about your time zones also. Time zones, it is very important. Time zones, it is very important to understand about time zones because in US we have a time zone because US is the biggest one, so in terms of area also, so we have a time zone in US. So you have to understand, see, basically we have 6 time zones, but today I will explain to you 4 time zones in US which we work, every travel agencies, every flight, every system like CRS, could be a Galileo, media, they're working once they make the fares, once they calculate the fare, they calculate the fares with the help of the time zones. So in IATA you get these sort of things also. Like in US we have basically 6 time zones. We have Hawaii, Alaskan, Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern time zone. But today I will explain to you 4 time zone of US, which is a Pacific time zone. Then we have Mountain time zone in US. Then we have a Central time zone in US. And we have Eastern time zone in US. For example, in these time zones you will get a, so there's a difference of 2 hours. For example, here we have a 12 o'clock, here will be have 2 o'clock, here will be have 4 o'clock, and here will be have 6 o'clock. So there is 2 hour difference between these time zones. If I'm living in Pacific time zone, if I'm living in LA, if I'm living in LA, so it means LA lies, means Los Angeles lies in Pacific time zone. If I'm living in Denver, my Denver in US, this is in Mountain time zone. You will get these type of question in your IATA exam. Like if for example you're living in Denver, so which time zone you are living in? Because IATA requirement is, if you want to be an expert in travel agency, like you have to have a good knowledge about, because then only you can calculate the fares. So IATA requirement is like, if you want to clear my certification, that is IATA is asking that his certification, so you have to complete information about the flights, departures, flight timings, like entire world where the flight may operate. So central we have Chicago, the major thing. For example, if you're living in Chicago, so Chicago lies in central time zone. If you're living in New York, so that lies in eastern time zone. So for example, if your flight is flying from LA to New York, so there will be a difference of 6 hours. See, your flight, see, entire US, so that's a very biggest country. But yes, for example, in LA we have 2 o'clock and you can be a 6 o'clock. Is that clear to you? So for example, if your flight is flying from LA to New York, so it is just you have to calculate, there will be a 6-hour difference. Is that clear to you? So may I wrap this? Okay, so in order to clear the IELTS exam, it is very mandate to have a good understanding about your areas, time zones, and the global indicators. Like if the flight is operating from area 1 to 2, from for example Frankfurt to, for example your flight is operating from Frankfurt to Shanghai, area 2 to 3, Frankfurt lies in area 2 and Shanghai lies in area 3. So this is my Eastern Hemisphere global indicator. If my journey is flying, is operating from, for example, if we have an origination point is Hong Kong to LA. Hong Kong to LA, I take a flight via Pacific time zone, because Hong Kong we have here we have a Hong Kong which is in area 3, and LA we have here which is in area 1. So if I'm taking a journey flight from Hong Kong to LA, it will perform Pacific Ocean indicator, which is PA. Is that clear to you? Area 3 to 1 we have PA indicator. So guys, especially for our travel agents, for a travel agency staff, for the students who are aspiring themselves to work with the the airline reservation staff, so they have to have complete information about global indicator. Okay, so every travel agency, if they are looking forward to have air ticketing trainings, like how to make a fares, how to make a best fares, in order to get an agreements, we have a code share. We might have a lot of things in code share flight agreements, which you have to do manually, but that is not exam. But once you start your own work, you have to work with the system, the software, so that is all electronic. Okay, so if you need any assistance in order to clear your IATA exam, or you want to start your own travel agency, or you have your travel agency but you don't know how to make the fares, like if people is saying, sir, I am getting a fare 64,000, but you speak to other travel agency that fare is 70,000, so what you will do? So you have to make your manual combinations. I'm not asking about, see, nowadays the lockdown is going on, there's so many flights is not coming in the system. So once there will be a system in place, you will get and make the fares. Okay, so I believe guys it will really help you out in order to make the combination of all these things. So I'm going to deliver you a lot of videos in terms of ITAs and air ticketing diplomas and air ticketing training. So we have a complete travel agency training for the air ticketing staffs. So if you want to looking forward yourself uh, that your staff will join a training for air ticketing, and if you're looking forward yourself as a travel company, like I also should have these type of the trainings in place, you can feel free to speak with me. Okay, so if you need a travel agency training, if you need an ITAS training, if you need anything related to your aviation in terms of flight reservation, if you want to work with the airlines reservation, so I will help you out, like how to clear the airlines interviews. Okay, so we have, because we serve 15 years in the airlines industry, we work with different campaigning, like we work with Spanish campaigning, we work with Air France, we work with French campaigning, we work with German campaigning, we work with Chinese campaigning. So we work with Indian campaigning also, we work with US campaigning, like as an English people, we work with UK campaigning to handle the English people. So we worked with, a lot of campaigning in the past. So the same experience, the same, delivery which I want to deliver to you. So if you really want to open, because there are a lot of travel companies, travel agencies who want to open their own processes in Australia to India, India to Australia, UK to India, India to UK, UK to US, US to UK. If you're really looking forward themselves, feel free to speak with me. I will definitely help you out. Okay. So by the time you can have this video, and definitely if you look something on this, you can feel free to speak with me. My number is already displayed in my description box. Okay. Bye time. Take care. Bye bye.